So welcome everybody. In this part of our seasonal update of winter 2023 release, we will give you a short overview of two of the great new platform features we're adding to our Sensolus solution, which is the customizable dashboards and the table grouping. So what is it all about? So first, let's take a look at the group by feature which we have added to our platform. What is a typical use case? Users are presented with the question, the need. If they have a large number of assets, they want to quickly count how many of specific assets are in a specific state, have a specific property. And then often it happens that just this specific kind of visualization is lacking in the platform or is currently not yet present. Right, to prove the point that some things are present in the platforms and others are not, let's take a few examples. Very often you want to have an overview of all your assets, and then per kind of asset, per type of assets. There the obvious solution is, that solution already exists a long time, use asset tags, and then you can go to home asset tags in the platform, and then you can see per type of asset the number, the total count of assets. Similarly, if you want to view all the assets per geozone, you go to the Sensolus view home geozones, then you see a list of all geozones and then the number of assets currently inside the geozone. So these are examples where the visualizations already exist, but then often or sometimes it happens that, for example, if people use the orientation, the tilt detection function of the trackers, the question comes, okay, can I view and count assets per orientation state? And currently we have not so great answer. And if you want to, for example, see, well, I want to view all my assets, but I want to group them per last activity, for example, per week, and then also have counts on that. So there, the solution up until now was you can make a report, you can export it to Excel, for example, and then in Excel do your analysis, create a pivot table, or make a graph visualization. So this is what we actually now have a solution for. We have called it the group by feature. It will actually become a standard feature on all of our list views in our platform. So it's not just for assets and trackers, it can be for sensors, it can be for infrastructure items, it can be for users or organization lists if you are a partner. And as we will see in the second part of this video, it is also a very important feature which is used in the customizable dashboards. So let's do a short demo and stop the slide where here so you can see live in action. Good, you can see here I am logged into our platform, and let's take a quick look. Let's go to the asset list here, and you would see, for example, let me zoom in on a specific type of asset. They all have this foldable boxes. And let's try to find out if we can visualize the orientations. Would add the column orientation state to my list. Now it's only 15 items, and obviously I could here sort on my list and quickly see, well, there's 4 in this orientation state. But imagine now that the number is a lot larger and I want to have the quick overview. And I would now click on the column header. Now I have the capability to use the group by column feature. If I click this, then automatically there is a pivot table being executed, and we can see that 11 with this orientation or the other way. Here you can see this icon, which means that the grouping is active, so it's grouped by orientation state. You can click on it to enable it. As a second example of the grouping function, let's take a look at the timestamp of the last activity. So maybe I would want to have a quick overview of when my assets had last movement activity. So I would go here to the column selector, and I would select the column last activity timestamp. Okay. See, that has been added here now. Of course, this is a lot of scrolling. Now have 200. I actually have 500 assets in my filter scope. That's quite hard to do an analysis on. So I would click here. Now I can, since it's a date time column, I can actually have a few different grouping options. Maybe I would want to group by week. And then automatically the analysis from the grouping is performed and remove it here. You could also group this by day. So you can basically see how it works. Still apply sorting on the aggregate count. So very powerful feature which we will see coming back on our dashboard. Probably you have the question, can I do a different aggregation and count? Currently not yet, but you can imagine that we are working on other types of numeric aggregations. Averages, min and max functionalities are definitely on our list. Now, having demonstrated the group by feature, actually a small introduction to one of the more powerful features of our platform that we're releasing, which is the custom dashboard feature, customizable dashboards. Why custom dashboards? Well, yeah, very common use case. Typically, and a very valid question is that users, the end users of the platform, they should have a very specific overview showing just what they care about, what is their business need. Now, because there's such a variety of business needs and such a variety of personas, user types using our platform, obviously we cannot have the perfect visualization for everybody programmed in our solution out of the box. So up until now, it was always quite a hassle. It was possible to make customer-specific analysis, a user-specific analysis dashboard. You could, for example, use and you still can actually, use the export functionality or APIs to generate Excel files and then perform the analysis in Excel. With some more technical skills, you can implement an ETL flow where the data is transformed into Power BI. Data can even be enriched with other data sources, and then create dashboards in the Power BI environment and use the existing Power BI iframe integration feature. It also includes authentication, which is automatically performed, and then you embed this dashboard into the Sensolus platform, offering a seamless integration to the users. Also, with other types of business intelligence platforms, such a solution can be created where the ETL process is staged, and then dashboards are created, which are then integrated again with as an embedded iframe in the Sensolus platform. Yeah, one disadvantage next to the workload of doing that is that often these integrations are not real time. They, for example, happen on a daily refresh or a weekly refresh, which is a disadvantage. So this is why we are very proud to release the customizable dashboards to our solution. The key advantages is that there should be less time spent on creating dashboards and creating the visualization that users need. It's also some task that any knowledge worker can do. It's not restricted to the more technical people. And it is always real time because the queries executed on the real live platform directly. There is no intermediate export or import step involved. Here I am logged into the Sensolus platform, and you will see that now you can find, every user can find the dashboards navigation item. Here I'm logged into a demo environment, and I can actually show you a number of example dashboards that give you an idea how this feature works when fully implemented. Here we have an overview of some main sites. The idea is here that the logistics manager would be able to quickly compare two of their main warehouses, a factory in Germany, and have an overview of the different production step states, an overview of the different asset types in the warehouse, and a quick overview of the stock evolution. Also, an overview widget has been added here to quickly provide an overview of the assets on the physical site at a glance. Let's take a look at the customer deliveries dashboard. If you're using the solution to track customer deliveries with vehicle trackers and battery powered trackers, for example, together. Here we have overview of the map. We have current ongoing deliveries with their destinations, if this would be supplied by the ERP. And here we have the transport companies shipping the assets. So these type of data already a case where the custom data integration is active, just to show you that even on custom data integration you can also perform analysis and make widgets to be added on the dashboards. If you would be using the solution together with temperature sensors, we can also perform analysis on temperature data. And here the idea is that the quality manager would have a central overview, confirm that the transports of the temperature controlled assets is still within bounds of what is needed. Okay, enough of showing existing stuff. So let's try to create our own dashboard and see how this works. We would go to all dashboards. So if I wanted to create my own dashboard, I would go here, click the Create Dashboard button. Here I would give a name to it. Let's demo. Then the name, if I wanted to have it in the menu, give it Peter Demo. Right. Some other options that later. Well, actually, good. So here we are at our first blank dashboard. Dashboard is composed of several widgets, any number of widgets you can add. So let's just start by adding our first widget. When we add a widget, the first choice we need to make is on which data type we are going to report. So let's start with the most typical data type, the list of assets in the system. Now imagine, let's maybe, as a first quick example, make a bar chart, and I want to see for the bar chart, want actually that they are grouped per geozone. So I want to have a quick bar chart overview of my geozone. If I apply this, save, then I have my widget added to my dashboard. Widgets can be resized, and widgets can also be duplicated, like this. Smaller one, would drag them in a position, increase the size. So this is reporting on all the assets because I have not applied any filter. I could very easily go here to the settings of the widget because maybe I am interested in only visualizing a subset of my assets. So I could apply some of the filters. I could, for example, say that I would want to report here for my widget only for specific asset tags, and maybe I want to have only the results of those assets which have been tagged with supplier flow. If I apply this now, then you can see that my are updated. Good, so very easy to work with. And also rename this title. This would be supplier flow assets per geozone. As you would expect, we can also change the type of visualization because we can obviously also visualize this as a pie chart, showing the same filtering, the same information, or maybe I would want to show this same criteria and these assets, the asset map. And then we have the overview. Again, and clone, and maybe easily try to experiment, try to find exactly the right view of the information I would need, that would be, this is example, just doing some basic thing. So I guess you get the idea, but also hooking back into the first part of the video where we talked about the group functionality. So I can show you how you can leverage the same functionality in here. Now I would, for example, delete this again, add a widget. Why not also on the alert list, on the asset list? And I would select a table chart again to show you what we are doing. Just maybe moving some of these columns here. I want to show them with different status and geozones. So if I do not do something specific, then I have a table widget which is being added. Maybe I want to apply some grouping and counting. Here I would, for example, say, okay, I'm not so interested in the status anymore, but if I do the column selection, then here, recognizing the icon, you can apply the same counting mechanism here, the group mechanism here. So if I click here on geozone grouping, now click OK. If I apply this, then you will see that data is sorted, is grouped automatically, and the asset counts are being. So group by functionality is also accessible in the table edit as widgets, which you can use to create a very set of functionalities. For example, continuing on the example where we started with, maybe change it again. Would not group on the geozone, but group on the last activity timestamp on here, or go it here, do this by week, click OK, and my changes, and I have a nice overview here. So very powerful indeed, and you can see how you can create all sorts of analysis right in the platform on all the live data. For the sake of time, we will stop doing the demo here. You can easily see that there will be much more things to discover and much more features that we will also add over the next months, different types of visualizations, different types of analysis. We are really seeing this as a very important step in our future evolution of the platform. So definitely stay tuned and see what is coming. The very good news is that this feature is becoming available on all platform plans. So that means that customers who are subscribed to the analytics plan have access to all objects to report on all data sources. So even if you are using the essential version of the platform, you still have quite a set of options available to you. The dashboard functionality is available with the group by functionality. All the different visualizations are available. It's just on the type of data which is available that there is a difference. So having said that, enough of me doing the talking. Would suggest log into the Sensolus platform, find the new dashboard feature, experiment with it, play with it, and stay tuned definitely, as over the coming weeks and months we will keep improving this great feature as we continuously work to improve the Sensolus platform to be the strongest and most feature-rich location intelligence platform on the market. Thank you. Till next time.